quick, I want to ask you, what's wrong with today's NBA? Viewership is down. People are just not as interested as they used to be. And of course, this year in particular, I don't think I've ever seen a year where major stars are hurt as much as they are. I mean, injuries are just like rampant in the NBA. AJ and I, we talking about this just last week on a NBA update where we've discussed we don't even know if we're going to ever get to see the best of Zion Williams. And this was like one of the guys who the NBA was really looking forward to building and growing. But overall, what's wrong with the game today that it doesn't have the same credence as it used to?
Yeah, two things, or three things. The homogenization of the style of play. Everyone's coming down and shooting threes now, right? So you don't have that variety, because it did used to be like the Laker fast break against the bad boys, rough and tumble Pistons, right? That clash of different styles and what they were trying to do. So everyone comes down and jacks threes, and that's just not entertaining or appealing to me. One. Two, the fact that you really don't have rivalries because the players are changing teams and breaking up and bonding, and we don't see the same opponents meeting in the playoffs year in and year out, right? Building up those rivalries like the Bulls and the Pistons used to do, or the Lakers and the Celtics in the finals. You don't have those. And then three, you alluded to it, that next wave hasn't taken over. So could have been like Zion and Ja, their turn to run things. And Ja had all his issues, social media inflicted issues that Ja had, and Zion's had his injuries. And so as great as it was watching LeBron and KD and Steph Curry at the Olympics bring that gold medal home, it's a little sad that that should have been the showcase for the next generation. We shouldn't have even needed those three guys. There should have been the guys ready to take over for them. I'll ask you guys, because we kind of saw it in the film and you came through it, right? A lot of people blame the AAUization of basketball in America. I push back on that a little bit because I mean, the guys like LeBron and KD, like they came up through that, right? And they're the best players in the world. American basketball is still the top form of basketball when you get our best players and put them together. So, like, I'm not convinced but that's been the culprit in a lot of people's eyes. What do you guys think when people blame AAU for ruining American basketball?
I don't like that one bit, because that has nothing to do on teaching the kid the fundamentals of the game of basketball. You can do that outside for free on the basketball court. So I don't like them blaming the AAU. What I love about the AAU, it gives those kids, the ones that that will be in the street, distracted with something else, but you got them out somewhere in Cincinnati, you got them in Indiana, you got them, they away and they playing, they understand the basketball brotherhood. They probably ain't never ever been on a team, but they're away. Man, the AAU have saved inner city lives. That's what I say.
I agree with all that, but I also want to add this to it. I think what's missing from AAU is that you don't see the guys. When you bring everything into one storehouse, it limits the people that can play. So if you're not, the Nike EYBL, or if you're not part of Steph's Under Armour top whatever, or Adidas top 60, it was fortunate that we get a guy like Ja Morant. But the truth is, Ja Morant shouldn't have a Hoop Dreams right now, because he was in some back of the woods gym, and this coach just happened to hear some people screaming and stuck his head in. Wasn't even there to see him. So I think on that level, AAU needs to fix that. I think what AAU also needs to do is there's too many mom and pop teams. And I say this with the most respect for those moms and dads out there trying to coach. But the truth is, there's a difference between bringing snacks to a game and coaching your kids. That's a huge difference. So
We need more than Capri Suns.
We need more than Capri Sun. So I think that's been watering down the game. So you can go to some of these tournaments, and there's over 450 teams in there. And so you got 20 coaches coming in, and then I think this is, and again, I'm for AAU, but I also think this has hurt AAU. Now, as a college coach, I ain't got to show up where it matters anymore. See, one of the things that I appreciate, even going back to Kevin O'Neal, man, I remember when I was playing in the playground, they came down there to see me play outside. You don't see that kind of hustle anymore in the college game, and they don't have to do it now because they can just go to one place and pick and choose.
And I want to add this too, because I said that's the good thing about AAU. Now the bad thing about AAU is that, like Will said, you got some of these, teams, and these kids can't even play. But the parents and some of these other people who are coaching these teams, they're actually in it for the money. You see some of these organizations, you're charging these kids and these teams $450 to come to this place to hoop, when basketball was the cheapest game that we had. Why would I go and do that when I'm just gonna take you to West? We're gonna get on the plane, fly to New York, and I'm gonna take you to West 4th Street, and I'm gonna see if you can handle yourself.
Right. No fees, no entry fees.
You can't get noticed that way.
What?
But you can't get noticed that way.
In New York, someone can notice you.
I could take you there. I can fly you out there. I can take you there. But again, if you're not connected to it, let's just be honest with it. If you're not connected to one of the big 3 gym shoe companies, you're limited in your visibility. I mean, that's just the reality. I mean, and truthfully, if you're not really under the Nike circuit, you're gonna miss out on all of the major opportunities. It's not like when you and I was playing. We were wearing New Balance in school. They didn't care that we had on New Balance.
No, but I'm saying you had the Nike All-American. I wasn't a Nike All-American. You was a Nike All-American, so you still got to have that.
But you didn't have to wear Nikes to be a Nike All-American. You do now. You can't wear. Matter of fact, I'm in San Antonio. We don't have we got decent basketball talent here. But when we get great talent, Houston comes and grab that great talent. Dallas comes and grab that great talent. You know what they tell them? Hey, man, you ain't got to show up to practice. Just show up to games. Wow. So they'll just show up to the major tournaments and play in those games. But, Jay, I got one more question for you. My man AG got a final question for you. But you said something earlier that I just got to go back to, because, my mind holds on to a lot of things. But you said this was about social media, and you said you don't post as much as you used to. And my question is, now with everybody having a podcast, everybody's having, social media has become like this window to the world to reach. Why did you pull back?
As Twitter declines and just started to be a more toxic place, I just realized, okay, I don't need to be on here subjecting myself. And also you just realize, do other people need to share these things? Like things that I used to tweet, I just kind of put in my group chat now. Mm-hmm. So maybe only 5 or 6 people need to hear this or see this, as opposed to 5,000 or 6,000 or 50,000 or what. At one point my Twitter following was like over 600,000. I don't know how many of those were real people. Now I'm on Blue Sky and Threads, and it's like 8,000 people each, and maybe get like 20 responses. But just, does everyone need to hear what I think about everything? Not so much. We've overshared. Man, I read a fascinating article about how people are developing these relationships with chatbots and these artificial intelligence chatbots. And in some cases, I get it, because they're like, hey, they're always there. I can log in at 2 a.m. I don't have to worry about waking them up. I can have a conversation. I can vent, express some things. But also, if I post something, even if you respond to it, that's not a real interaction. That's not like us getting on the phone and talking, or even, this forum where we're here seeing each other and we're having a conversation. at least. You know, we're not in person, but at least we're seeing each other and talking to each other and hearing each other. And so, you know, I just like that more. And, you know, I'm lucky enough, you know, people like you still care enough about what I have to say to invite me on these podcasts. So like, I don't have my own podcast right now. That might change within a year or two. But, you know, for now, like if I have something to say, I'll hop on a podcast and say it. I'm still doing Around the Horn once a month. You know, I can get my views out there. Like if I have something really that I need to get off my chest, I can do so on a much bigger platform. So, you know, social media is just so much noise. Like it's kind of nicer having quiet. I got my noise canceling headphones on. Every time I'm walking around the city, man, I got my AirPods in. The AirPod Pro 2s, the noise cancellation on them is so good, man.
Are you serious?
So I spend so much time trying to tune people out that why would I want to kind of contribute to the noise by putting stuff all out there on social media? I want to be part of the solution, not part of the problem.
You sound like me at the gym. Man, listen, I use at the gym. Right. If you say it on, first of all, there needs to be a rule. If you at the gym and you got headphones, that means do not. Yes, there should be a do not disturb sign.
Right. If I got to do this, you already losing me. I'm already mad at you, man.
That's right. I go there to work out. If I need conversation, I go to the barbershop.
They tapping you on your shoulder. Sir, when you going to be done with the treadmill?
When I'm done.
That's right.
Look at the clock here. It says 3 minutes and 20 seconds, right? That's how much time I got left.
That's right. Hey, G, hit him with that last question, man.
Jay, man, we done had you for a minute, man. Glad you appreciate your time, man. We definitely follow you. Big fan of yours and your work, what you do. Very proud of you. Right now, you're a professor at Northwestern, right? You're teaching a class there. Besides that, what is the next chapter in Mr. Adande's hoop dream?
Wow. It's weird being on this side, being, you know, thinking about the end more. There's really not much more I want to do. You know, that Hall of Fame honor just felt like such a crowning achievement. So, you know, I could see doing a podcast. I have a couple podcast ideas. So just what the world needs, another podcast, right? But
that's right. Come on, man. Join the work, man. We got there's enough room for everybody.
You know, I really have fun doing this. Funny, during the pandemic, I did that Last Dance podcast, and then I did that Redeem Team Top podcast with Jack McCallum. And it was really fun to do. It's a nice pandemic-proof occupation, you know, like you can do it at home. And, you know, I would go in my closet because it was the quietest room in my apartment. So I was just sitting in the closet recording podcasts. And so I could see doing that some more, you know, but I don't have that much more to say. A lot of what I had to say, like I've already written it, you know, and like at you know, the stories that I wanted to tell. The cool thing is, like, I kind of told the stories I wanted to tell. You know, I was able to write about the Bulls in the 90s and write about Kobe and Shaq Lakers and, you know, write about the Spurs. And then really kind of, to me, the story ended with the Warriors and this new era. You know, so the Warriors brought in this new era that we're in there. And so I was able to cover kind of the beginning and the launch of that era with their championships. And, you know, that's enough. I got students that are coming up that they want to tell the stories. So I'm going to leave it to them. You know, let's give them their chance to tell these stories. I'm good. That, you know, I've done it and been certified. And
there you go.
So there's not a whole lot more that, you know, maybe my book, you know, I'll write my story, tell my story.
Yes.
Your memoir.
And put that out there.
Yeah,
so there you go.
That's the only story really I feel left to tell is mine, because it hasn't all been put together and assembled in one place. So maybe you'll see a book from me down the road.
Hey, the best is yet to come, man. Hall of Fame, J.A. Adande, man, on the show, man. Give it up to him,
Appreciate
man.
It, fellas.
Hall of Fame, baby. Hall of Fame.